Apocalypse Bringer, chat. This Isekai anime kind of took me a little by surprise, and it hits me on a personal level. If I'm being honest, not for what you think, by the way. This guy or boy, I don't know how old he is. He's on his deathbed, literally. He's going to die, and while he was, dying, he was playing one of his favorite games, like I do, chat. He's playing one of his favorite games,
and he's good in
pretty
RN,
much,
it looks like.
Otis, I'm not repeating what Otis just said. I
In
might
the
just
hospital,
put it
brother's
in
a freak.
the video, though. Who knows? So while he was playing an
Bro is
an
literally
RTS
me.
game, it's like how I love playing RimWorld, right, chat? Well, he was playing a base builder game like that too, one of his favorite games, and then he just leans over and dies. Very, very scary stuff, chat. Very scary stuff. I don't like thinking about death, if I'm being honest, chat. I don't. But I do feel a little bit better knowing that in about 10 years, it's going to be harder for people to die. Around 10 to 20 years or so, it's going to be much harder for people to die. Like, they got so many crazy, like, they're going to have some new achievements and stuff that's going to, shake the world in just a few years. So, death isn't really my fear too much anymore. King Remedy says he's locked in on stream. That's the I am not repeating that. I'll probably put it in the video though. I'm recording everything. So he dies and he gets reincarnated. He gets reincarnated and he becomes he gets reincarnated into his favorite game. Now here's the crazy thing I've not seen any isekai do before. Not only does he get reincarnated, but one of his characters from the game he was playing also gets reincarnated. They're both into a different world. I've never seen that before. This character. Do any of you recall seeing a in-game character getting reincarnated? Like, I think I recall an in-game character like coming into the real world, or chat, or fictional character coming into the real world, but I think that was more like one of the...
I would hit.
Shut up, Otis. So we have his... What's that Overlord? Remember that Overlord anime? This is pretty much like that, but with a little bit of a twist. She's not overpowered, and he's powerful, but I don't know how powerful. I don't know how powerful. I don't know if he's overpowered. He's powerful enough where, like, everyone else probably would have to die before he... Because the game he got reincarnated to is a city kind of game. A city builder kind of game. A nation building kind of game. Pretty much RimWorld, right, chat? This is one of the things that I relate to a lot, because I love RimWorld, and if I got reincarnated and ended up in RimWorld, chat, or like, that would be wild. I would be sad. I would be very sad, because I know how unforgiving RimWorld is. I know how unforgiving it is, right? It's having to like watch people like become friends or speak with the people that I'm governing, like solving all these problems, would make me sad if any of them was like suffering or anything like that. I don't know. You think that's how God feels? Otis says, imagine having to eat without a table. Yeah. Just imagine. Mood would be ruined all day. Or just a few minutes, depending on what time zone we're doing. I think they use military time in RimWorld, right? Or like a half a version of military time. So we see these dark elves who was cast out of their home by other elves. Probably the light elves. They don't like the dark elves. They're racist, chat. Who knew? So they're all poor. They got their families. They're starving because there's no food. There's no animals in this strange forest. It's like a dark forest or something like that, chat. We should play Age of Empire someday. Is it Age of Empire where you try to, where it's like, it's not turn-based, right? I don't know if it's called Age of Empires or Civilization. Civilization is the Civilization is turn-based. Age of Empires is the one you have to, it's like Command and Conquer, but more Stone Age kind of thing, or at least that's how you start. We should probably play that one of these days. King Remy says, me sitting on my porcelain throne knowing my pizza is burning downstairs, but my legs fall asleep. That's you right here. That's you. Oh, gosh. So they meet our main characters, and this is what they see. We see some kid in pajamas or his hospital gown. Apparently, when you die, chat, your clothes die with you. So if you get stabbed, ask them to like stab your clothes so he can, so you're not ending up naked wherever you're gonna go. I don't know, chat. I'm just saying stuff, but it makes sense, right? So they see a shadowy figure and some lady with resting bee face. Yeah, yeah. And so I noticed that because they start doing chibi face in this one, you know, I've told you before, I don't really like chibi face in my anime. It kind of throws off the seriousness for me. However, the art style, I don't know. I can handle it here.
Reaching for the you know.
Reaching for the you know what? No, he's reaching because he was like, and she's freaking out because he's giving out food to these people. What do we got here? They just finished their RimWorld harvest, huh? They got apples. They got orange apples. They got a lighter orange apple, and then they got huge green apples, and then they got long brown apples, and then a lot of apple stuff going on here, chat.
Box elves Otis be says, like.
World box elves be like. So he wants to create an evil nation, chat. However, he's being very kind. Nomad says, Candy, those ain't apples. Nah, they're apples. They're just different forms of apples, like these grape apples. King Remedy says, imagine a goth elf, all the room for ear piercing. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. Oh, man, I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that. Nomad says noted. Yeah. And
LOL.
These white apples. These some strange, and that's watermelon right there, chat. That's not an apple, just so you guys know. That's a watermelon. That's not an apple. Everything else is apple. That's a watermelon. Oh, God. Radishes. No.
LMFAO.
Oh, gosh. So, I've seen some chibi face going on here, and I think so far I'm liking it. I think it's pretty funny. It's very funny.
Neuron activated.
Otis says neuron activated for the watermelon. Oh yeah, watermelons are nice. I hear if you put salt on watermelons, chat, is delicious. Huh? I never tried that. Need to try that one day. So they've agreed to become servants of this dark figure, right, chat? They have, and we see the first of people of the nation. There's not too many of them, well, at least I haven't seen so far. But we have a guy, like, they think the king, their new king, is evil. He wants to be evil, have an evil nation, but he's not evil, strangely enough, right? He's actually pretty kind, and he doesn't even do evil things. In fact, when this guy was put in charge of being the leader of his army, like, he was like shocked that when their king said, "Hey, I want peace," the king was like, the king of evil says, "I want peace," and he's like, "What?" The chibi face in this anime is pretty interesting. I'm liking it so far. It's very funny. I like that face. So he's like taken aback. He's like, this guy's supposed to be like the Dark Lord, but he's doing nice things and he doesn't want war. This guy was like, I'm willing to like put everybody's head on a platter for you. And the king was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I just want peace. And he's like, yeah. Like, so, you know, you never know, chat. Then we also get to meet probably one of the antagonists, this lady right here, who's like the female pope of one of the other nations. There's like 3 other nations, I think, chat. Or at least 2 nations in one city-state. You've played Civilizations before, chat, where you have a few nations and then you have like a few like independent cities that you could take over, or this is so wild. You could just take over for the nation and just like become a part of yours, right? Annex and all that. Some of you probably don't play those kind of games, so it's probably fall on deaf ears. But I don't know if I will be picking this anime up. I did at least watch the first few episodes. So far, it's looking pretty fun. A palate cleanser, if I'm being honest. Nomad says, female. I'm a full believer now. Jeez Louise. I believe. Oh gosh. King Remedy says, God forbid I want a woman 20 years older than me. Chat, remember when I told you, like, we was talking about, like, I don't know if we were talking about it this episode or last episode, last recording. We were talking about new innovations of technology. I think we talked about it before too, like many times, where the pursuit of love will be changed when AI starts walking the streets. Very, very, very interesting. Nomad says, me when female pope I get. Really? Could there be a woman pope, chat? Is that possible? K-Raver says he's not dating a dirty robot. That's wild. You guys don't want to date a robot where men and women are replaced with robots that can know your every emotion? Otis says, what you got against separatists? What is that? I don't know what that means. I know it's some type of, like, political thing, I think, or religious. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know what that means. I've heard it in I think Star Wars, maybe. It seems familiar. But so far, chat, this anime is a bit of a palate cleanser. I'm glad that I watched it, but for the most part, I won't be following up with this. King Remedy says, would die alone before I date a circuit-brained tin can. That is crazy. What if it's not
Bunny's 28
hardware, more like software, King Remedy? What if, like, the robot, the android, was, like, made of less mechanics and more biology kind of stuff? It wasn't born, but it also wasn't created, if that makes any sense. Manufactured. It wasn't manufactured. Would you date this individual then? That's a good question. Nomad says, I'm making that hardware software if you get whatever. Oh, that's disgusting.
Like a baby.
King Remedy says, like a tube baby. I think that's a thing, right? Is that a thing? I know technology is there and able to do that, but I think there's, like, laws against that.
Oh, wow.
Or at least in the United States. I think at some point they tried to pass it's taboo. The UN was like, hey, let's not be doing human experimentation, but not everyone agreed on that. So I think China and a few other nations are, like, haven't, like, agreed to that. I'm like 90% sure there's a baby out there that was born in a lab. Nomad says, we have to start a Blade Runner, but I don't think us as a generation will get to see it come true. I think we will. Especially with the new technology with, like, anti-aging and all these things. King Remedy says, unless it's for wealth reasons, I will make fun of you for being a tube. That's crazy. Don't make fun of people. Even if those people were grown or constructed. That's not nice. What if they become monster shot? You know that AI movie, right? That where the mom, she lost her son because I think he drowned or something like that. So she replaced her son with a robot boy. The robot eventually, that's like that, right? It's called AI. So King Remy says, I said health. You read like a third grader. Shush up. All right. I'm terrible at reading. All right. You did say health though. So if you have a situation where this AI kid, a robot boy, was being bullied because it's a robot, and eventually they treat it like a monster, right? But the mother, treats it like, her child. You have a situation where people who hate this robot might end up killing the mom or someone that the robot loves. At some point, that robot boy could snap. It's like, okay, you're going to keep treating me like a monster, even though I just want to live in peace. Then I will act like one. We have a situation where the fear of like mankind, mankind's fear for the future of AI taking over might be what causes AI to take over, if that makes any sense. Like mankind doing some type of preemptive attack against something that it fears for like unwarranted, by the way, only for it to actually happen that way because of that. So it's a very interesting. I know this is really off topic of this anime, so let's try to I'm gonna wrap this up. But that is something to think about, chat. Anyway, on with the rest of the show.